You're looking at perhaps the iconic house on Mount Curve Avenue in Minneapolis, perhaps the city's grandest street where the industrialists and financiers of the day built these fabulous, now historic houses. Arthur Ross Rogers, a lumber baron, commissioned the mansion's construction, which began in 1904. The owners have invested more than $2 million lovingly restoring the property, honoring its history and craftsmanship while modernizing its systems and infrastructure. Note how conveniently situated this neighborhood sits relative to the financial district, less than 15 minutes away, while to the south you'll get a glimpse of several of the 11 lakes lying within the city limits. Hi, my name is Brian Wiesner. Along with my wife Heidi and Patricia Pidcock, we are honored to represent this magisterial, unbelievable house. It's a treat to show you. Come on in. This house was built in 1904 and obviously designed for large social gatherings. It was the entertainment of the day. But what you'll also see is unbelievable craftsmanship, quality materials, and yet a modern floor plan that still works in this day, 100 years later. Arthur Rogers, the home's original builder, was a lumber baron, and he obviously wanted to make an impression. One of the elements so amazing about this home's design is that its layout of more than 125 years ago still offers the kind of floor plan that fits today's lifestyle. The traffic flow is circular. Inhabitants and guests can flow from room to room. The Great Hall is central to the adjoining rooms that include a parlor, a huge living room, what was in 1904 a library, and a dining room capable of seating 20 people. And here's this home's showstopper, a staircase that in and of itself is a work of art. The floors are black walnut, but the paneling is all mahogany, so-called crotch mahogany because of how it's cut from the forks of the harvested trees. There are no straight grains here. Even if you could procure all the materials, where would you find the skills to execute the carving and the craftsmanship to put it all together? I'm standing in the sunroom, which is one of my favorite rooms in this house, partly because it's got stained glass windows here, which are amongst 40 that you'll find in the house, all of which have been retrofitted to thermo-pane glass and sashes to upgrade them. And in fact, the hallmark of everything this owner has done in the house is to bring the authentic and the historical forward to today's standards using today's technologies. 3 sets of French doors serve the living room. This has a gas burning fireplace, but you need to check out the artisan quality craftsmanship and fresco designs above the fireplace and on the ceiling. All of this has been restored to its original design, but with even better materials. Accessible off the living room is the owner's favorite respite in the summer. Here, though in the heart of the city, there is no sense of that hustle and bustle. Canopied by trees and elevated from the street, it's a haven. Leafy, spacious, inviting, and with a direct entryway for guests or for stepping down to the intimate patio. Or welcome guests directly without traipsing them through the home. No matter the era, the heart of every home is the kitchen. It always has been. It's the center of sociability. And once again here, the designer of this house was ahead of his time. The owners had gutted to the studs this entire space when they bought the house. But just recently they freshened it up with new countertops, a backsplash, and they enameled the cabinets, all with marble. All the appliances are top drawer, but the range deserves special mention. This is a Le Cornu range, where Julia Child would hang out. It's a magnet for guests, one hopes because of the cuisine being prepared, but secretly, everybody wants to see the centerpiece of the kitchen in action. In the end, it's both the device and the food. Bon appetit. But if the menu mandates grilling, that's mere steps out the door onto the grill deck and then to the private patio for cowboy food. Champagne or beer, this home delivers in so many ways. From this vantage point, we're only steps away to the Carriage House, as it was called back in the day. Very few homes in the heart of the city can offer indoor heated parking for 3 cars and auxiliary parking in the adjacent garage for another 2 or 3, and plenty of parking outdoors within the gates for another dozen or more cars. And above the garage, by the way, is a full apartment. Here we are on the landing on the way to the 2nd floor. There's actually no let-up in quality materials or craftsmanship from the 1st floor to the 2nd floor. Perhaps most importantly, walking by this stairway is a spiritual experience. You'll notice that the hallway is extraordinarily wide and that the wainscoting continues using the ever-present rare mahogany. All 3 bedrooms down this way have their own dedicated baths, 2 of which are en suite. This room here has recently been redone with walls and drapes in keeping with the home's history. It shares a porch with the adjacent bedroom. All these rooms are generous in size with large closets, but for the one carpeted guest room, all have wood floors that have been refinished or redone. All of the bathrooms have in-floor heat. The primary bedroom at the top of the stairs has been substantially reworked. The former bath has been reworked from the studs out and now features 2 separate sink spaces along with a massive built-in armoire executed in solid walnut. The owner's ensuite, inclusive of the bedroom, the bath, the dressing area, comprises well over 600 square feet. Here we offer a glimpse of the 3rd floor. It's a full living space with a bath and kitchenette. There are 3 more bedrooms and the turret tower, perhaps a dubious hangout if you're of English descent, but the space altogether is unwasted, useful, and has its own heating and AC system. 100 years ago, this was the speakeasy, the tuckaway space where the owner could break out his hooch and entertain his friends. Once again, the designer was ahead of his time. Here we're standing in a room with 10-foot ceilings, enabling these tall light-filled windows that is so unlike most of what you can find built in this era or in this location. Thank you for joining me on this tour. Everybody who's visited this house says the pictures can't do it justice. There's just so much to appreciate in this house. The owners have spent more than $2 million lovingly restoring this property, but bringing the history forward using today's standards with new technologies. As you've seen, this home has fabulous livability, a great oversized lot in a primo location. We have so much more we could share with you if you'd like. Thanks very much for joining us.